Jessiewoo, VBS. I just turn the water on. Big ol' flex. She never saw before. He's chasing me like waterfall. All right, y'all. Thank you so much for joining me for another episode of Just a Couple Things, y'all. Your favorite podcast hosted by me, your sister. All right, so we've got a special guest for this episode. I'm really excited. It's going to be a whole lot of singing. It might be a whole lot of singing this episode, so stay tuned. But before we get into it, I just want to make sure, are you subscribed on every platform that streams podcasts? If you are on Spotify, the Spotify people, go ahead and spot the pod, Just a Couple Things. And if you're on Apple, the Apple people, go ahead and do the same thing. Go to Just a Couple Things podcast, hit follow, and do the same thing on all platforms that stream podcasts. All right, so now without further ado, we have a very beautiful guest this episode. She is one of the stars of this season's Love is Blind UK, the second season. If you've been hiding under a rock, I need you to come up out that rock. Come up out from under that rock, and I need you to watch the second season of Love is Blind UK. You will not regret it, I promise you. And she is one of the reasons why we have Aanu. Thank you so much for joining us for this episode of Just a Couple Things.
Thank you.
How are you doing today?
Thank you for having me. You're gorgeous. You're just so gorgeous. Your voice, you, everything.
So are you. Thank you so much. So are you. The moment you came on my screen, I was like, yes, give me 1,100 more. I want more. I love her. I love your personality. And I'm so honored that you would even consider talking to me about your experience on the show this season. So first, I mean, for people who have been hiding up under a rock, let us know what your background is. Obviously, we learned on the show that you're a singer. We learned that you sang with greats like Rod Stewart. You know, how did you start singing? How did you come into your career?
Okay, so did you grow up in church, like singing in church?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so basically,
Yeah.
same thing, basically. So we grew up in church, grew up singing, and then, you know, I used to do
I'm sorry. I didn't hear. You know what? I don't think I heard what you said. You said you grew up. Okay, I'm sorry. I didn't hear that. Okay, so you said you grew up singing in church.
Yes.
Oh my God. How was that?
You know what? It was, you know what? It's like, I don't know. It's like we're all fighting for the mic. We're all fighting to be heard. So that's why I've got quite a loud voice and I can project. But I think, I don't know, just as a kid, I remember doing a talent competition when I was about 5. And I remember I sang Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star and I won. And that's my first memory of like singing. Yeah. That's my first memory.
Period.
That's my first memory.
You made sure that star was twinkling, didn't you? You made sure that star was twinkling.
Yes, basically. So yeah, from the age of 5, I remember that was my first memory of like of singing, basically. And then I did performing arts school when I was younger. I actually wasn't that confident, funny enough, in secondary school. Sorry, give me 1 second.
Really?
Someone's... Sorry.
Child, somebody driving by?
Yeah. Sorry, it's loud. Sorry.
It's okay.
But so yeah, I was actually quite shy in school, funny enough. But then my parents enrolled me in like performing arts school, and then I got confident. They were giving me main parts, lead roles, and then I just got a lot more confident. Basically, I actually used to do athletics when I was younger as well. So yeah, and then when I was 18, I actually did Britain's Got Talent. Funny enough.
But, really?
Yeah, but it was an accident. I didn't want to do it. I just fell into it.
Wait, girl, how do you wait, nah, come on now.
I know,
come on now, sister. How do you end up on Brits Got Talent by accident?
I don't know, Jessie. I don't even know how I even got on there. And I reached the semi-final, you know. I know. I don't even know how I even got there.
So we got a whole now, Miss Girl. See, you can't be. Come on now. This is huge. So you reach the semifinals, and what happens?
Well, yeah, I didn't. I was just a filler act, basically. But basically, so I went to music school So I wanted to kind of be an artist. That was the goal. And then they put up like an audition saying, what was the audition? Like, we're looking for gospel singers. And obviously when you grow up in
Mm,
church, you can, that's a skill, that's all you know. You can sing gospel in your sleep, right? So I'm just singing along, doing
hmm.
this audition. And then they asked me a question like, why have you never done a TV show before? And I was like, I feel like they're gonna chew me up and spit me back out. And that's basically what happened. So yeah, but it was
Yo.
but you know what though? I feel like every like disappointment is a blessing, because from doing Britain's Got Talent, it gave
Mm,
me an insight into like that side of the music industry in terms of TV like
mm,
talent shows, right? And and it
mhm.
made me realize like, wow, if I actually want to be a singer, no one's going to give it to me. I have to fight for it. So after I did the
Wow.
TV show, I actually started hustling. I started singing in people's back gardens. I was getting paid, but I started my own business. I started my business when I was 18. And yeah, then it just catapulted
Wow.
from there. And actually doing Britain's Got Talent, it actually got me into the door for doing backing vocals. So that's what I'm saying. Like, even though it didn't work out the way
Mm,
it would have been great to, but it worked out even better for me
yeah.
because I started a business, I got into a new industry, and then that was just a domino effect into like where I am now. So yeah.
Good. And so you even on the show talked about like being a wedding singer. That touched my heart because I used to do that. I used to sing a whole lot of Celine Dion. Yeah, I used to sing a whole lot of Celine Dion and Shania Twain down these people aisles.
I
And then I
love
know
that.
you're yeah, I know you're of Nigerian descent. I was like, so how many Nigerian weddings was my sister singing at?
You know what? I'll be honest. I don't know if I've not done a Nigerian wedding because they want to book like Davido and like Burner. They want to book like
That's
Wizkid,
true.
and they've got the money to do that. So,
They do.
so
They
I've
do.
done a Ghanaian wedding. I've done a like a 50th birthday. But then again, Davido is there 2 hours later doing the main show. So Nigerians, we don't joke, we don't play around. Do you get what I mean? Like, they don't want
No.
like a little wedding
No.
singer. They want the real
No.
artist.
My God, like I thought like Haitian weddings were a big deal until I started seeing Nigerian weddings.
Yeah,
Like you
we got.
said, it's like we're not just hiring the singer that the whole town knows. We're gonna hire the biggest artist, and it's just insane. It's extravagant. I love it. But you detailed how a lot of times when you would sing at weddings, that you would kind of feel like, dang, like I'm singing all these brides down the aisle. When is it gonna be my turn? Can you kind of talk about that?
Yeah, like
What was that feeling like?
yeah, singing at weddings, it's a great job. Like, like let's be honest, it's not. It's like there's some jobs out there that can be a bit like, but being a singer and being a part of someone's special day, like their own this only day, this a very unique day, is like a beautiful experience. So I'm really grateful that I get to call that like my passion, my job in a sense. And yeah, sometimes it can be
Yeah.
bittersweet. Like when you see so much love and when you see so much compassion and empathy between these two people, and it's just like, wow, they love each other enough to want to commit a lifelong commitment. So, sometimes
Yeah.
when you think, when like I'm singing, I'm like, when is it me? When is it gonna be me?
Yeah.
But I'm in the moment. I'm in the moment for them. I'm trying to make the ceremony as special as it can be for them. So I'm grateful that I get to call it my job. I'm grateful that I'm part of this couple's memory forever. Like that's a beautiful
Yeah.
experience. And by God's grace, it will be me soon. So yeah.
Yes. Amen. We're gonna touch and agree by God's grace.
Amen.
Speaking of what speaking of weddings too, we learned that you're of Nigerian descent again, and I was wondering, because of your culture, how important is it for you to be married? And, did you feel a little bit of pressure throughout your life? Like, I need to be married now, like, is that kind of why you ended up on the show?
You know what? Yeah, I think I'm very fortunate that my mom is quite liberal. Like,
Oh, good.
she's not the conventional Nigerian, because for example, when do you really hear like a Nigerian girl wanting to be a singer at the age of kind of 18, going to music school, doing performing arts? Like, out of me and my friends, all of my friends are like accountants, solicitors, what else are they? Doctors, pharmacists, so like back at like when I grew up, telling your parents you want to be a singer, they'll say, ah, that's a Jared, shut up. Do you get what I mean? Like it's not heard of. It's not heard of.
No, I'm Haitian, same thing. You have to be doctor, lawyer, avocat, engineer. You want to be singing? No, singing does not pay the bills. Like, it's just like, it's the same thing. It is the same thing.
Basically.
Like, our parents want us to have these jobs that are very much like sure. And they, they feel like chasing your dreams is like chasing scarcity almost. So I'm happy that, this generation of us is like, no, we're going to follow our dreams.
Yeah, beautiful. And
Yeah.
like you said, like I think you doing what you do now, like that would be kind of unheard of in like 5, 10 years ago, right? Like hearing, oh, a black girl kind of being successful from YouTube, having a online personality, like it's foreign, you know. But now
Yeah.
you see many a few, right? So yeah, it's
Yeah.
inspiring what you're doing. It's beautiful to see, and also
Oh,
that you're so kind as well to fellow black girls. Like that, my heart feels full
oh,
being a part of this. So yeah, so thank you.
oh, that's so nice. Thank you. I really appreciate that. I try my best, especially like to those of you guys who do these shows, because I know how tough it is. So I try my best to extend myself and say, hey, like, let's talk about this. Like, let's take a peek into what this person's experience is as a black woman on this show, Exploring Love. We know how hard it is in the real world. And even like how you said, I'm so happy that you said that your mother is not a conventional Nigerian. No shade to any, conventional Nigerians or Haitians, but the fact that she supports you chasing your dreams shows that, you know what, maybe too she was a little more lenient on, okay, you get married in your own time. Like when you're ready for it, when you find the right person. Is that what you would say your mother's message has been to you?
You know what? I'm trying to think. I think you know what? I think I'm very ambitious. I'm very driven. So if it wasn't athletics, it was singing. If it wasn't singing, it was acting school. If it wasn't acting school, it was West End. If it wasn't West End, it was artist career. If it wasn't artist career, it was business. If it wasn't business, it's property. So I think my mum's never worried about me because she knows I'm quite level headed and that, I'll always be okay. But then in terms of like you probably even can maybe you did suffer this like when you was kind of just starting your career. You know when you're kind of getting accomplished or you're building yourself up and you're getting a name for yourself. So unfortunately, when you're dating, a lot of men can be intimidated. A lot of men, yeah, yeah, unfortunately, and yeah, unfortunately, and you know what? Sometimes I have to like dumb myself down, and not saying that just saying I'm a singer is dumbing myself down. But if I tell them I'm an entrepreneur, I've got two businesses, I've got properties, I manage 30 musicians, I do all of this. It's like whoa, 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 whoa. Who's the man here? Kind of vibe. But I'm not saying I want to be the man.
Mm.
This is just this is what I'm coming with. This is what I can bring to the table. Not that I should bring anything anyway, but
No, no, no. But literally, it's like all you're saying is, baby, I got a job. That's all I'm saying. I ain't trying to be the man. You could still be the man. As a matter of fact, this should give you more incentive to be the man because I
for
got all
real.
this going on. Let's talk about your dating life. I'm glad that you said that. Do you feel that because men are often intimidated by women who look like you, who sing like you, who are, very much leading in their professional lives, do you think that that scares them off romantically? Has that
Um,
been your experience?
I'm trying to think. So like Jessie, you know, it's a hard one because for me, yeah, I'm not saying you need to be a millionaire, but just have a plan and be proactive in that plan. And unfortunately, like, or maybe it's the pool of men that I'm unfortunately around, a lot of them don't know where they're going. A lot of them don't know what they're doing. And maybe it's UK. I'm not
Wow.
sure. Maybe there's something in the water here. And it's not everyone because I know a lot of correct guys as well. But like I'm 30 now and I feel like the guys are still they don't know if they're coming or going. But then the girls here are
Mm-hmm.
on point. They've got eyelash businesses, they've got hair businesses, they've got clothes businesses, they've got nail businesses. The girls are on point. The guys,
Hmm.
I don't know. I don't know, and I don't want to generalize, but I promise you, the girls here in UK are not playing. They're not playing.
I mean, I get a small glimpse into how the gal them are carrying themselves in the UK streets, and I have to, concur what you said. Like the London girlies are not playing as far as like even in their looks, even how they're carrying themselves like when they're going out. So I can only imagine what they're doing to for the upkeep.
Mm.
But it's surprising to hear what you're saying. Do you feel that in your dating life prior to Love is Blind, do you feel that the men are at least courting or putting forth effort to get into relationships?
That Jessie, yeah. What I was hearing was walking dates, was coffee dates, was what else? It's like we're back in COVID. Like and the thing is, whenever some guy says that to me, I don't even reply because it's like, what do you think? How much do you think my makeup, even just doing my hair, my makeup alone, how much like all these little products? You want me to go for a walk? But that's me. I don't want to do that. Some girls may.
But
Yeah, sorry.
but also it kind of gives very low effort. It's like, let me see if I can give Anu the lowest effort, and if I can do that, that can get me in. That can condition her into accepting the very low effort, so she doesn't accept much. Do you feel like that's what's kind of happening in the dating field in the UK? I mean, it's kind of happening here too. I don't know if you see social media, but like coffee dates are going viral every week. Like it's just, I don't know what's going on. Like, do you feel like in your dating experience, men have tried to condition you to accept low efforts?
Yes, they have definitely tried to condition me to accept low effort. Like they'll try to come back around again and be like, "Hey, you still free for a coffee date?" No, I told you the first time. I don't do a coffee date. It's not changed 2 months later. It's not changed.
No.
Yeah, it's sad. It's like they're trying to condition you. They're trying to push your buttons to see what's how low will you go? What's the bare minimum that you will take? So I feel like in this day and age, you really have to have strong boundaries. If your standard is, and that's not even a high standard, take me for dinner. That's not a high, I don't think that's a high standard. Sorry, chuck a few
Yeah,
80 pounds.
no.
That's not that's not high. That's not a high ask, you know. But then also as well, the caliber
No.
of man I want and that I envision as my husband would want to court me, would want to treat me special, would want to say I'm your princess, whatever you want, darling. Do you get what I mean? So the coffee date, you've already ruled yourself out. You know, you've showed me who you are, so that's enough. You know.
Yeah. Um, so going into Love is Blind, what made you say, okay, let me do this experiment? Like, were you really truly ready for marriage? As a matter, let me pull it back. When was your last relationship
Goodness
before
gracious.
Love is Blind?
So my last long term one was like 3 to 4 years, and I think I got into that maybe when I was 19, 20, 20, maybe 19. So 19, so maybe that ended when I was
Oh
23. I'm
wow.
30 now, a long time ago. So everything else has been
Oh wow.
like courting,
Uh,
courting basically. But yeah, my last serious relationship was like maybe it ended when I was 22, 23. So very long time ago, before COVID basically. Before COVID messed everything up.
oh girl. Oh my gosh. Now that I'm thinking about it too, your timeline, because going into that relationship, you were really, really young. And then coming out of it a couple years later, the world shuts down. And it's true. Like the dating pool already had pee in it, and then you put COVID in it, and like people's like efforts after that just went downhill. So I could understand you wanting to do an experiment like this. So how did you get into this? Like, did you apply? Did they reach out to you?
So I actually applied. So my sister told me to apply actually.
You
And I was like,
applied?
yeah, I applied. So my sister told me to apply. I know I applied. Yeah, I applied. I applied.
No way. I for
Yeah,
sure thought
yeah,
they sought
yeah.
you out. There's no way.
No, no, I applied, but and the thing is, on my Instagram, I wasn't really. I think I didn't even have Instagram, Jesse. I think I deactivated it. I think I was done with the world. So I probably so I wasn't even like there wasn't even a blueprint of me online.
I'm screaming.
Literally, there wasn't even a blueprint of me online. But my sister was like, "Why don't you apply for Love Is Blind?" I was just like, "Yeah," but she's called Rachel. I was like, "Yeah, but men are trash." Like, da 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 da. Like, because I'll be dating someone for a while. We'll be on 6 or 7 dates, and then all of a sudden, I don't feel emotionally available right now, or I don't feel like I'm ready. Because as well, I'm dating for marriage. I know
Wait, so
six or
that's
seven dates.
what that's what the men were telling you.
yeah, I'm not emotionally available right now. I'm not ready for, because as well, I'm courting for marriage. And as well, the thing is, they know I'm a serious girl because I'm telling them how I'm building my life for myself and my family. So I'm not a girl that's kind of just sitting here chilling, doing traveling. Nothing wrong with traveling, but I think a lot of people use traveling as their personality, which is fine. But I'm here trying to build. I'm here trying to, how am I going to build for the future? How am I going to build for my family? So when guys see me, they can see a serious girl, and if they're not there, then they run basically.
Do you think that men are dumb? And I respectfully, because when I look at you, you're gorgeous. You have a career. You're looking for something that you should be looking for, which is to settle down, build a life with someone. Are men dumb? In your are the men?
Girl, I don't. I honestly don't know. Girl, I don't. I think maybe just. I think because you know what, we're all the problem. Yeah, we're all the problem. Women, men. I think we're all the problem in terms of like we as women, I think we're letting men get away with a lot. And you see what I mean by, you see what you said, right? They conditioned us? I don't think maybe they have conditioned us, but I think the world, not to get so deep, I think the world has conditioned us. TV shows have conditioned us. Music has conditioned us to be okay with casual relationships, to be okay with, and I'm not condemning, I'm not judging, but because of what we've been kind of
Well, I'll condemn
programmed.
it. She ain't condemning. I am, and I'm gonna condemn the men that are behind these networks and these TV shows that are also pushing that narrative. So ultimately, the answer is yes, men are dumb. Period. But go ahead. She didn't
I
say that.
agree.
She didn't say it. She didn't say it. Her views. She has her views. I have mine. Don't put words in her mouth. I said it. Okay. Um,
Oh,
but
God.
yeah, I just because I'm just I don't understand the disconnect. So in your mind, you feel that the disconnect is that for you, men see how serious you are about building a life, and they're like 6, 7 dates in, all right, I'm done.
Yeah, near enough. That it's like they get scared. It's like they get scared. And these men are like 35, 36, Jesse. So I don't know. It's like I'm not really the good time girl. I'm the lifelong girl. And if they're not ready for lifelong,
Mm.
but then they think they're ready for lifelong when they initially are courting me, and then when what is it, push come to shove, or when
Well,
the
yeah, yeah,
when the poo hits the fan, it's like, oh,
yeah.
actually she's serious. Oh, yeah, she looks enticing, but actually there's a lot more to her than just beauty, if that makes sense, you know? And then it's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
she wants more than just dating, than just fancy dinners. Yeah, I want depth, I want marriage, I want kids. Yeah, I want to build a life. So what are we doing?
I want a
Yeah.
family. Yeah. If men are crazy. Okay, so you're on the show. You're in the show. Um,
And
before
this
we
is why
get
I go
into
doing
Mrs.
the show. This is doing the show because you think that the guys there want marriage, right? So yeah, that's why I applied for the show.
That's that's exactly what I was gonna say. I was gonna say, so in your mind, joining Love Is Blind meant what for you?
Men intentional dating that could potentially lead to marriage. I know this experiment is insane, right? Like you only speak to this person for what, like I don't know, 10 or 9 days, and you're engaged. I know it's intense. I know it's not
Yeah,
really uh, not really the conventional way to do things. However, it's like, okay, there's going to be 15 men here that want to get married. There must be one that I could be compatible with. There must be one, you know.
yeah. When you told your friends and family members, your mom, that you were going on the show, what was their response?
Well, obviously my sister encouraged it.
Good.
My mom's scared. My mom, even when the show kind of was coming out, she was like, "Oh, I'm gonna have to tell people at work. I'm gonna have to. I don't want to tell anyone at work and things like that." And then one of her work colleagues be like, "Oh my gosh, I knew." She was like, "Oh, don't tell anyone."
She was nervous.
Yeah,
I guess she
yeah.
was nervous. Was she nervous for you? Was she nervous that, like, okay, oh my God, like, I don't want anybody, like, perceiving my daughter, I guess. Like, I feel like Caribbean African parents, they have this thing. They don't want to be perceived. Was that what it was?
Yeah, and I think as well, we're actually quite a private family. I know I'm the entertainer, but like we're quite private, we're quite a small family, we're quite an intimate family. So for me to be such the risk taker, that outlandish one, the big personality one, it is a little bit foreign to my family. However, they still encourage
Mm.
me, they'll still support me. But yeah, my mum supports me. If I told my mum I'm gonna go to Antarctica to go climb a mountain, she would be scared for me and she'd pray for me, but she'd say, "Go on, do it." Bring some money back
Aw. Are
home.
you the oldest?
No, I'm the
Are you the
youngest.
oldest?
No, I'm the youngest.
Really?
What about
Oh,
you?
wow. I don't know. I'm the oldest of four. So I'm like, I don't know, talking to you, I'm just like, I don't know why I felt like you gave me eldest daughter energy.
Right, to be honest, if
But
you
I
talk
do
to
have a
my
young,
mum, she'd say that I give elder energy. But I'm
really?
not
Yeah, you
sure.
give
Probably,
that.
yeah. Yeah, yeah.
You give that. But also like my youngest sibling, she's a girl. Her name's Grace, and she's very like outgoing too. I think like between we have two boys between us, and they're not outgoing, but
Um,
we're both very outgoing, but just in different ways. But yeah, you definitely give me eldest. So briefly, let's talk about like the women's lounge. So we saw the girlies in the women's lounge. Like, who were you the closest to? I feel like in the women's lounge, I don't feel like we got to see much of your interactions in the women's lounge. Like we saw it here and there, but like who were you closest to? And were there any of the girlies that you kind of had moments when you realized, oh, we're dating the same guy?
yeah, it was a weird dynamic because you're all dating the same men, so it's quite competitive. Yeah. And I'll
Mm-hmm.
be honest, yeah, there were some girls in the lounge that weren't revealing who they were dating. And maybe that was even smart at the
Mm,
time. But I'm very much what you see is what you get. So I'm like, oh, if you're not
mm-hmm.
going to tell me who you're dating, I'm not talking to you then. Kind of vibe. But maybe I should have, maybe they were the smart ones and I should have followed suit. But yeah,
Yeah.
Yolanda was my
So you
girl.
never ran into. I'm sorry.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so Yolanda was my girl because obviously we were the only black girls there, so we connected instantly. And you know what? She said a funny joke when we
Period.
first did our first dinner. She was like, "Oh, thank God, there's another black girl here, so you can tell me if my frontal's lifted." That's what she
Oh,
said to me. I know, I know.
Yolanda. Yolanda, we're gonna have a moment of silence for Yolanda because I said in my reviews, I'm like, where's Yolanda? We
I
hardly got to
know,
see Yolanda.
I know,
Like
and she's
I
hilarious.
feel robbed.
I
So you
know.
guys are still super tight?
Yeah, she messaged like we messaged. She's voice noting me. We message all the time, and this is like a year later, so she's still
Oh.
like my tight girly. Yeah, we go on holiday and everything.
Oh, great, great, great. So let me ask you this. Were they feeding y'all? Cause there's a scene where I'm like, they showed food, but I'm like, are the girls really eating? For real, for real.
Oh, the girls really eating. Yeah, so obviously it's filmed in, I don't know if I can even say this, but it's filmed in Sweden. Um, so it's like Swedish food. But I don't know if you can put this in there. But I'll just say that the food, I don't know, the overall consensus was
It
people
was
weren't happy with
Swedish.
the food. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It wasn't nourishing. I think a lot of us had stomach aches. A lot of us had problems. So yeah, it wasn't.
Maybe it's the way the Swedish cook
The
their food.
water, yeah, yeah, it could be the water, but I think the water in Sweden is actually quite clean. So I'm not cleaner than UK. So yeah, I think the water in Sweden is actually
Okay,
very
so
clean. So
so we don't know what's going on with Swedish people. Maybe it was, the thing is too, we need seasoning. You know what I mean? Like us girlies, we need seasoning. You know what I mean? Like so maybe I don't know. I don't know how the Swedish. The only thing I eat from Sweden is Swedish meatballs down to IKEA, and that's it. I don't know nothing else about Swedish food. So
well,
God,
you know
God
what
bless.
though? No, you know what though? In the lounge though, we were one of the girls was a chef, and she's actually one of my friends, Holly, and she cooked croissants. I think she cooked cakes. So the food in the lounge was nice.
Okay.
But the food outside of the lounge wasn't that tasty. But the food in the lounge, like the little snacks, we had smoothies in the morning. They were
Oh,
really
okay.
tasty.
Okay, good. Okay, so you guys were eating well,
Yeah,
just
yeah.
not when you were outside. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. So let's talk about the connection that we all saw you make on Love Is Blind. You connect with Patrick. I call him Mr. Spleen
I
because
mean, we're
we're
all
gonna get
doing it.
into that. But you connect with Mr. Spleen. We see this first date with you guys, and He tells you that he is a human design coach. When he told you this, I really want to know genuinely what was going through your mind when this man told you that he was a human design coach who is heavily influenced by his spleen.
Okay, Jessie. So let's start from the beginning, yeah? Because I know so many people online have been like, "You're a Christian. What are you doing dating this guy, Mr. Spleen?" Da, 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 da. But it's not as simple as it sounds. You know, it's not as
Okay.
simple. It's not as straight. It's so vertical and horizontal and square and triangle. It's so not a straight line. So, so basically, obviously, there's 15 women and there's 15 men. And the first day, yeah, we date each other for 8 minutes, and then from then you have to decide who you want to see again for those after those 8 minutes. And I'll be honest, Jessie, I do not remember Patrick in those eight on the first day. I don't remember him on the first day. I don't remember him on the second day. But then on the third day, we had a thing called like night dates, and that night date basically means that's when your important connections pick you. Do you get what I mean? So the night date is basically that solidifies who likes you. Do you get what I mean?
So who is making that choice? Is it you or is it the guy? Is it the woman or the man?
That's the
Or
thing.
is it both?
That's the thing because I didn't remember him. And I'm being honest.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I didn't remember him until we had that night date, and he was like Anu, and I was like, who's this? And yeah, and then it was like I was Patrick, and I was like, oh, okay. So I guess I must be your favorite then. So that's what I'm saying. Like it felt very much like he was
Oh.
pursuing me in the process because he wasn't my top connection at all. Yeah.
Oh, that's what it sounds like. It sounds like the onus was put on the men to choose from what you're saying. That's what it sounds like, which is
That's
good, which is good.
well, I don't know how to put it because obviously we're all kind of putting who our tops are. We're all kind of putting it out there like who we like and things like that. However, if they don't like you, you're not going to see them. Do you get what I mean?
Mm.
So if they like someone else more than you, they're going to be priority on their date list, but they might be
Mm.
priority on your date list. But if
Mm.
Patrick like Yolanda and Yolanda like Patrick, they're definitely going to see each other. But if I like Patrick and Patrick didn't like me back,
You're
and a lot of girls like Patrick, then I would and Patrick like them back, then I wouldn't see Patrick, if that makes sense. Does that make sense?
okay, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. But also, I think what I like about that is that, from what it sounds like, is that the men are being encouraged to pursue and the women are being chosen instead of the other way around. Because I feel like there's been some times in Love is Blind when I've seen, I kind of felt that I would see the woman doing the pursuing. I just didn't like that, especially in that format. I'm like, nah, it should be the man. Because you don't want to be doing all that pursuing in the pods and then you come out and it's a mess.
Yeah. A bit like the
So
kitchen
I
love
do like,
situation, innit?
yeah, exactly. So, so immediately, well, I know you say you don't remember, but when you're watching back the show, when Patrick let you know that he is a human design coach that trusts in his spleen, immediately you were like, well, I trust in God,
Amen.
my savior, the one. She was like, hold on. Hallelujah, hallelujah. It was Team Jesus over here. Why did you
Amen.
feel the need? Why did you feel the need to stress that? And, did you feel that spiritually y'all were equally yoked?
Okay, so this is where I get to tell you like what I experienced. Yeah. So after this night date, and Patrick, I feel now Patrick is pursuing me because, like I said, he wasn't on my radar. There was three other guys that were on my top, and Demila, and then probably Patrick. So, but maybe Patrick was like sixth on my list of 15 men. Yeah. I think Demila
So
was.
wait, so who was 1 through 5?
So Cal was my number one. I know, but so obviously now you can. I know. I had a few dates with him as well. Yeah. I know.
Hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold
And me
on.
and Saboba are
I
very
wouldn't have
close.
been I wouldn't have been mad at it, but we know he like white women, so it's
Yeah.
child.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that would have been cute. And who else?
Cal, then Charlie, but you didn't see him. He was
No.
Pod Squad. Then Jed, Lebanese Jed. Yeah, but remember these were
Okay.
all quite masculine men. They came across like they were very. Jed is like came across very traditional. Cal came across very masculine and traditional. Charlie's also from my area and came across like he'd want to look after me and things like that. So I was looking for men that would want to look after me, essentially, that were masculine, that were leaders. Yeah, and they were showing those attributes. Yeah.
Period. And you said Demila was there as well.
Yeah, I dated him quite a lot, but yeah,
Why didn't we see that?
because it didn't
Let
end.
Chris Conley, you ruggedy. Why didn't we not see that? I would have loved to, because it kind of sounds like, did you feel that, well, you said you didn't really talk to the girlies in the lounge like that, but was there a moment where you realized he was with Katisha? Like, how did that?
Oh yeah. So me, Yolanda, another girl called Laurie. Who else? Were dating Demila quite a lot. Yeah, and the girls that were dating Demila quite a lot were my close girlies, so Yolanda, Laurie. But we don't care. Like we're just telling each other everything. And Katisha, we
Yeah.
weren't close with Katisha in the lounge. I never spoke to her in the lounge. But I spoke to Sorova
Okay.
in the lounge like very briefly, and me and Sorova are like sisters now. But Katisha
Okay, good.
always looked very like just like she was going through a lot. So I just was
Oh.
like, I don't wanna trouble her more by like telling
Mhm.
her what my situation is with D. So I actually purposely like avoided her. Um,
Oh, wow.
yeah, we avoided her actually because she just looked like she was just going through a lot. So I just didn't
She
want
was
to
in
trouble
distress.
her more. Yeah, she looked like she
Yeah.
was distressed. She looked like she was just a lot going on basically. And then
Yeah.
she came in and she didn't even say anything. The other girl said like Katisha's coming with flowers. Demila's giving her flowers and he's written a poem for her. And we're all dating Demila, by the way, Jessie. And on the dates, yeah, he's still acting very like I'm interested in you, like da 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 you, like oh we're gonna wear traditional on our wedding, we're singing in our dates, let me love you, stuff like that. And then obviously we come back to the lounge and we hear that he's got her flowers and we're like, no, this guy's basically made his choice. Basically, you made your choice. Like you made your choice, bro. And me, Yolanda, and Laura were like, no, we're done. Like that's it. We're out the window. Basically, and the thing is, yeah, even though it might not seem like a big deal doing flowers or a poem, but in that
Yeah.
situation, it's a massive. It's like you might as well give her the ring now.
Yeah.
It's a
Yeah.
massive
Yeah.
deal. And if you
Yeah.
speak to him now, he'll be like, "It's not a big deal. It's not a big deal." No, it's a massive deal.
No, it
You,
is.
you
It
picked it.
is.
You picked her.
In that situation, it is.
It's huge. It's
Yeah.
territorial. This is my woman. This is who I've picked. And I think we all said, so my last date with him, he was still acting very interested. He was like, oh, so what do you do? Where do you live? Wow, you're so impressive. You're so this. And I said, Demila, let's be serious here. You've gotten this girl flowers. What's going, like, let's not play games. Like, you've gotten this. I was just like, let's not play games, bro. Like, you've got this girl flowers. You've not told any of us. You not because as well at this point, guys are now telling girls like, this is my top connection. So
Okay.
yeah, guys are being very transparent about. Okay, so for example, Cal actually walked out on a date on me actually. So I had a date with Cal. Yeah, I had a date with Cal, and he was like, I was like, hi, and he was like, who is this? I was like, oh, it's Aanu. Who's this? And he was like, oh, it's Cal. And I was like, oh, hi, yeah, whatever. And then he was like, oh, to be honest, Sorova's my top, so I don't want to go on this date anymore. And then walked out with the date.
Well,
That
damn.
was the first red flag of his behavior, basically.
So that I was gonna say, so they weren't lying when they said he's cold.
Yeah, he was, and you know what? I'm a very vocal person, so I went back into the lounge and told Sorova straight. I was like, you need to be careful because if that's how he treats someone that can't do anything for him, like imagine who he is in the world. Like, do you get what I mean? People show you who
You
they are.
you warned her.
Yeah.
Wow.
But
That's
obviously,
so much insight.
but though, to her defense, like remember, like Patrick, on my dates with Patrick, they're putting their best foot forward. They're telling you everything you
Of
want to hear.
course. Of course.
And as well, he's not going to show me his best face. He's going to show her his best face, right? So, and maybe he
Of
didn't think me and
course.
her were friends in the pod, or that I had quite a vocal voice. But if I didn't say what he'd done to me, it would have been brushed under the rug. But because I was like, you guys need to be careful with
Mm.
this man because he just walked out on a date on me, da 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 da. And then because I was so vocal about it, she then told him you need to apologize to her, and he later apologized to me at the mixer. So yeah, she's a good girl though, Sororo.
I wish we would have seen all this. This is so good. And because in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, I was wondering if you had any other connections, and even the same thing with Demila. I'm like, did he have any other connections? Um, I know that you and, and Demila are close now. Watching the show, do you feel bad for, what his experience was?
That's the thing, Jesse. I had the same experience, but it's
True,
just he.
and we're gonna
I,
true.
I had the same experience. If anything, mine was
Yeah,
like probably even worse because at least Katisha was like nice to him. But like my experience, we had the same. Obviously, yeah, we did have the same experience. I just didn't have another girl in the way. Well, I did, but I just didn't have
hmm
a girl that I saw in the way. Um, but yeah, I think,
yeah, hmm
yeah, I got blindsided right to the
yeah,
end, and he also got blindsided right to the end. So if like Demila's a lovely guy, like his parents have done a great job. He's a sweet man. Yeah, he's a sweet man, and I'm so happy for him that he got that amazing edit because like you said, we need to see more black people being represented positively
yeah,
on TV. So I'm grateful that they used his edit positively and to yeah, shine a
yeah,
light on how black men can hold their own, can be kind, can be polite no matter the circumstances, and still be respectful even
yeah.
if they weren't treated well. So yeah, kudos to him.
Agreed, agreed. And Demila, if you see this, baby, come down to America. The girlies will eat you up. Okay,
I
I don't
know
know
he's
what's going
handsome.
on.
He's
Come
handsome.
down to America. The girlies will eat you up. I got about 10 girls I could fix you up with right now. I was married. I'm taken. I'm sorry. But I got about 10 women's right now. Fresh lace fronts. Okay. Bodies tea. Good jobs, baby. I got you. Demila, call me. I got you. Okay. So let's get into your experience. So, um, let me ask you this, because you said you don't remember him. You don't remember Mr. Spleen telling you that he was into human design. And I'm just like, well, how do you not remember? Because as I was watching the show, I'm like, does my sister know that this kind of teeters on cult like behavior? I'm not saying he's a cult leader. I'm not saying that. But anytime I've heard someone talk about human design, I'm always reminded of folks who have used that to lead others astray. And then watching you profess your love for God over and over again, was there any moment when you felt like, okay, spiritually, this would just not work?
Okay, so so obviously we're dating for 10 days, right? We're dating, so after the 8 minutes dates it's increasing to like maybe 20 minutes, this is increasing to 45, then an hour 30, then 2 hours. So we're getting to spend a lot of time with each other. And remember as well, we've got no phones, we're not with our family, so we're kind of only obsessing over this person, right? um
Mm,
but also Patrick is dating Laurie, Yolanda, Sarova. I think that's the only ones I know of that he was dating.
mm,
And it's funny when the girl spoke to me, he would speak to them about Bali and his spleen and human design and all this stuff. But on our dates, he honestly didn't speak about that, Jesse. Seriously. So he showed me a different face. Yeah, yeah. So, and one thing that I will say is that he said to me that he'd be open to converting to Christianity. We said Psalm 23 together. We said the Lord's Prayer together. We were talking about how we build our life together. So that's what I'm saying. So this guy is like reading me like textbook Christian, basically. He also said that he
mm.
was brought up as a Christian. His dad's a Christian. So it's like
He
he
did.
was,
We did see him say he grew up Christian and I think Catholic too.
yeah, 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 yeah. So he was giving me hope that okay, if we did this process together, he will convert into to Christianity because he didn't seem like he was so far from it because he was also talking about like he had so obviously I was dating Demila and Demila's a Christian. However, though, with Patrick, he had the kind of fundamentals of what the sort of behavior Christians should have, or that displays in the Bible, right? Selflessness, kindness, love, empathy,
Mm.
serve, and that's the sort of characteristics and behaviors Patrick was relaying to me in the dates in the pods. And I thought, so like one of the questions, yeah, was like, okay, if someone gives you £10,000, what are you going to do with it? So he asked me that. I said, okay, I'd give the money to my family to pay off any debts or any problems or whatever. Cool. And then what his answer was that he would go to a bank, take out as much money as he could, and give it away. And when he said that answer, I said, wow, you're so selfless. Like, wow, you're so giving. And I thought, I want to be like that, because that's the fundamentals of being a Christian, right? To give, to serve others. So he was
The
saying things like
character.
this. Yeah, yeah. He was saying things like this where he was like tingling different parts of my brain. He was opening different parts of who I was, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So I was learning from him as well. So yeah, but these things you don't see. We are talking about how we'd want to homeschool our children. We'll talk about traveling together. Once we get married, we'll buy a house and then we'll travel. He wants to take me to Japan. All these things, but unfortunately, you don't see how deep the
Mm.
connection is, because I get it. It's a show. You can only fit so many couples in, but we had a really
Yeah.
deep connection. I'll be honest. We weren't in love. We weren't in love with each other at all. But for me, he had the values and morals that I knew were the fundamentals for me to like fall in love. I could easily fall in love with the selfless, kind person. So yeah.
I get it. For you it was character. It was his character that got you, and his openness and his willingness to compromise with you on different things. There is a date where you guys had like a spa date, and you were like, "Listen, I'm not gonna do the cucumber on the eyes. I'm not messing up my lashes, but I am gonna vacuum this sushi." I said, "Are they feeding my sister?" I know you said they was feeding you, but in that one scene, I said, they not feeding my sister. Cause the way you, my sister vacuumed that sushi down. I said, hold on. But during that date, he asked you, he said, the next move for him would be a proposal. And you, mid sushi, were stuttering. And I'm like, okay, as a viewer, it looks like she's very unsure about this. What was going through your mind when he was telling you, like, basically, my next step here is to propose to you?
So the thing is, yeah, Jesse, because this was a year ago, it's really hard to recollect things like
Mm.
scene by scene, word by word, date by date. And that date was actually an hour and a half, 2 hours long. So even though you're seeing these like snippets of I look confused, I was not confused, honey. I was enjoying the sushi. I was enjoying the date. And that was it. I was having a good time. Oh, and the sushi wasn't even nice.
Period.
Actually. The sushi wasn't even nice actually. But I thought, when am I gonna get sushi? So like here in Sweden, so I was
Yeah.
enjoying it. But no, that day actually, we affirmed each other. We said we can't wait to do the process together. Actually, that date he said that my dad will love you. That date he said he'd look after me. We'd travel together. So that date was actually
Mm.
not a bad date at all. It's just I'm very expressive with my face. So even though I may look confused or I may look like disorientated, I'm probably happy. So
Mm.
yeah, it was actually a good date, to be honest. Yeah. Oh no, maybe
Okay.
that day he told me so it was a spa day, and he told me that he likes to paint his nails. So maybe I was confused. Maybe I looked confused.
Okay.
Yeah, because I think when he said that I was like, oh, I'm not sure if
Okay.
that's for me. And he was like,
Right.
okay, yeah. I was like, I need to see it to understand if that
Yeah.
works for me.
You was like,
But
hold on, Dennis Rodman.
basically, which is that's his vibe actually. That's actually his vibe. So I was like, I'd need to
Hmm.
see it. So maybe that I think that was for me. That was the only kind of crocus that I was like, I'm not sure
Okay.
that's for me, but I'm open. Yeah.
Okay. He did, I feel like it was this same date too that he asked you to sing for him. I don't know if it was this date or the following date when he asked you to sing. And you stuttered with that as well. You were like, and then you kind of said, hey, I don't make a big deal about, like my singing career. Yes, I've sung with Rod Stewart and all these things, but, and he said, I really don't like humility in a person. I liked his message to you because he said, I'm paraphrasing, but he said, that's something I don't like. I don't like, seeing someone be humble when they don't have to be. He felt that was something that society has kind of conditioned people to do. Like, let me just be humble. But I felt like you didn't process that the way he maybe have intended for you to process that. What was it like hearing him tell you that?
I think with me, Jessie, I'm very strong-willed. So it's like, even if he would have said that, I don't care. I'm going to do
Mm-hmm.
me if I think it's right, Not saying that I do the wrong thing, not saying if I believe something's wrong, I should go do it. But like, if that's the principles he stands by, good for him. But for me, and
Yeah.
like, in terms of like being a Christian and in terms of how I want to be seen in life. I don't really want to be judged for my accolades because people that have achieved great things are horrible people sometimes. So I don't want someone to, yeah, do you get what I mean?
Hello.
Yeah,
Yep.
and we live in a very kind of fake world right now. Everyone's like clout chasing, want to be your friends because you've got Instagram followers or you've toured here or you've done that or this. But then who is the person? What's the character? Is that person going to be there for you when times are hard, when you're living on this, God forbid no one's living on the street, but do you get what I mean? And for me, I want people to see me and not see my accomplishments, because unfortunately a lot of people see my accomplishments before they see me. A lot of people see this before they see my heart.
Mm,
So that's where I was coming from. Yeah.
I like that. Later on, he talked about, I feel like he asked you, if you all were to get or engaged, and if your mother, for instance, possibly didn't approve, like how important was your mother's approval? And you were like, yeah, my mom's approval means a lot. And I'm paraphrasing, but he said something like, living for the approval of others is very low vibrations.
You know,
And
you know,
again, you looked so confused. And I was confused too, because I'm like, I mean, I get what he's saying, but that's her mama.
You know what? Yeah, I don't
What's
recall. I don't recall it going like that, Jesse. That's the thing. Like, the thing is, I remember on that date. Yeah,
really?
I don't recall it going like that. I recall it going like we were talking about society and how society just goes by the grain and people don't take risks. And I think I recall him referencing that, saying that's very low vibration. But then if he was referencing me valuing my mum's opinion as low vibration, I would have called him out on it. That's the thing. That's who I am. I wouldn't let
Mm,
someone just like talk smack about me or about my family and be like, not say anything, But that's the
yeah.
thing. It's an edit you guys see. It's not like Bible, but they have to fit a lot in, and it has to also make sense to what they're then that what yeah, it has to make sense to what happens. So yeah,
Okay.
I honestly, I remember us talking about society and how society people don't take risks anymore, and I remember him referencing that being like low vibrational, and I agreed. Like,
Okay.
it's a
So that
shame that
makes
like
sense.
people, yeah, it's a shame that people kind of don't want to take risks and they want to just kind of do what everybody else does. But then if it was in reference to mama, I don't believe it was. But if it was, I would have said something. I would have been like, no, you don't say that. And I wouldn't have wanted to continue dating him. I'm very fiery. I'm not going to let someone just talk smack. But if he did,
Okay.
then I would like to think that I did confront him about that.
Okay. So thank you for the context. I thought that was weird, but I think you provided better context for that. So earlier when he asked you to sing, you didn't sing. But then fast forward, we see you in the lounge. I said, what's going on? My sister is my dear Patrick. I mean, my
Come
sister's
on.
in the lounge getting her. I said, okay, now she writing him a song. No, we not doing that. We not put that microphone down. We not singing those songs. My sister writing a song, child. She coming back in the pod. She's ready to sing. So you are ready to sing. What made you have the change of heart?
So the thing is, yeah, a lot of people are asking me to sing, and I just didn't want, like, already people are saying that I went on Love Is Blind to excel my career. Jesse, would you go on Love Is Blind to excel your career? How does that make sense?
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something, Anu. Even if that's what you did, I'm here to tell you, I don't care. I'm here to tell you, I don't care. And I don't understand people who have that critique. Like you have a beautiful voice.
Thank you.
Like, hello, you have a beautiful voice. So I'm not understanding why you wouldn't be able to forge your career and get a husband at the same damn time. That's a 2 for 1. So listen, anybody who has that critique, I don't care. I do not care, because your voice is gorgeous. Your voice is gorgeous. But I get what you're saying, which is actually I was truly, truly honest about wanting to find a husband. And I respect that. I respect that. And I think your actions showed that. And so, yeah, I was wondering what gave you the change of heart. Because obviously you had a lot of pause.
Yeah. So I think for me, it's like singing. I can sing in front of a crowd of millions and thousands, but singing to one person, it's a bit more like, ooh, nerve-wracking. And then if it's someone you potentially like, you want it to be special. So
Yeah.
I think it's like I wanted to make it more thoughtful, more intimate, more memorable than just singing a generic song, you know? But I did sing with
Mhm.
Demila. We sang Let Me Love You on our date, but he also kind of sings a little bit. So he was like, I was like, okay, if you want us to sing, you sing first. And then he sang, I sang, he sang, I sang. Yeah, and then we had a little sing off. So if Patrick started singing, maybe I would have
And we
started
didn't
singing.
and we didn't get to see that.
No. We had some good dates, me and Demila, actually, yeah.
Oh my God. So you sure you don't want to be with, I know we're gonna get to the reunion, but I know at the reunion y'all said y'all like brother and sister. You sure?
Me and Demila, we argue too. Like we called each other sassy. Well, I called him sassy. I called him sassy on the date, and then he got quiet. And then I was like, "Do you want to leave the date?" Then he said, "Yeah." And then we left the date. I said, "Good luck with you and Katisha. Mwah, mwah, wish you the best. Bye. I hope you get married." And that was it. So me and Demila,
Oh,
I don't know. I don't know if we're similar or we're not, or he's because he's Nigerian. Like, I don't know. I don't know what it is,
yeah.
but he's a sweet guy
I
though.
think it's
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's you both having the same heritage. Y'all know how to friendly dig at each other, and so
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um
Yeah. Me and him get at each other, but then we'll hug at the end.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, okay, so you say I'm going to go sing for this man. You show up to sing. You start to me, you get your voice together. And he stops you and he tells you that, "Hey, I appreciate you having a change of heart, but I don't want you to sing for somebody who doesn't deserve it. I didn't find my wife in this experience." What's going through your head? Because all I saw were these extremely deep sighs coming out of your body. But what was going through your mind?
So I've never been proposed to in my life, yeah. So I'm not sure. Did you know you were gonna get proposed to when your husband proposed to you, or
Oh,
was
we
it
not
surprise?
married for real.
Oh! Sorry, I thought you were. I thought you was. Oh my god, sorry. But
No, but
okay,
no, but me and my man, we definitely we talk about marriage all the time. That's something that we've talked about from the beginning. So, who knows? It'll happen any day now. Who knows? But we're not
amen.
married yet.
And when that time happens for you, I don't know. I don't know. We're singers in it, so I think we are drama queens to some extent. So I was when I went into the date. Yeah.
Very dramatic.
Yeah.
Very dramatic.
Same. And that's probably why you understand my edit because I'm a drama queen. That's just it. And
Hmm.
like if you meet like my other singer friends, they're more charismatic than I am. And yeah, so I think maybe it's just an entertainer thing. Maybe it's an African thing. I'm not sure. Haitian thing. I'm not sure. But
Yeah.
but so what was my point? Yeah. So what was the question again? Sorry, I just went off on a tangent.
When Mr. Spleen told you his spleen said he cannot propose to you, what was going through your mind? Do you remember?
So yes, I remember going in there, and it was just me in there. He wasn't in the date yet, or he might have been, but the mics were off. So I go in there, and Jessie, I'm hyperventilating. Yeah, this is what I mean by the dramatics. I'm hyperventilating because I've never been proposed to before. So that's what. So I'm actually. So So I'm actually
Wait,
going in there. Yeah, I'm wilding out. That's me wilding out before the date's
wait,
even started.
is it
Yeah.
because you went in there expecting the proposal?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
So so you're already like at a high. Your
Yeah.
emotions are high. And so he says this to you, and what happens like internally?
So you know what? I was very graceful. He said what he said. I'm breaking up with you. I thought that was a bit dramatic because when were we together? So he said I'm breaking up with you. I thought you're doing too much there. I was like that annoyed me when he said that. I said, bro, you're doing too much there. You know.
Yeah.
But he was like, I'm breaking up with you. We're not in alignment. And this is random, Jesse, because literally less than 24 hours he was saying we're in alignment. His spleen is in alignment with me. We're gonna do this. We're gonna less than 24 hours ago. We were affirming each other, and then 16 hours later, we're not in alignment. My splenic, whatever. It's like what? What one is it? You like me or you don't? Like, how can you just make a decision like that so quickly? What was the deciphering factor? And as well, Jesse, this is just for us to get engaged and to see. We're not saying we're going to get married right then and there. We still got to do like a holiday. We still got to live together. So there's still a lot to do before that happens. And and that's the thing, because I said to you, we were not in love. I promise you, I was not where Kyle and Sarova was, or Billy and Ashley, but we had an understanding of character, an understanding of how we wanted to show up in the world, an understanding of how we'd want to bring up children. And I think, like you said, like character is an important and fundamental thing in a marriage, because love isn't enough. Let's be real. Love isn't always enough.
Let's be real. Yep.
Yeah.
Let's be
So
real.
yeah. So for me,
So,
yeah. Sorry.
no, yeah, continue. I was gonna say, so you felt what? What were you feeling?
So he said that I'm breaking up with you. What else? He said that yeah, my spleen isn't in alignment. We're not in alignment, but I wish you the best of luck. And I was I know, but you know, because I was shocked, yeah. You know, I think I just sat there. I remember I sat there and I was just looking down, and I just said, what did I say? I said thank you. I said thank you and I wish you the best of luck. That's honestly what I said. And then the date ended, yeah? The date ended. They said the date's ended, your mics are off. So and then I sit back then and I'm like, I'm talking to myself and I'm like, wow, when you're kind and it's not enough. Like when someone says they see you
Oh,
and it's not enough, and then that's when the tear comes down. So it's not at the tear of
oh,
it's not at the sadness of like him. It's the sadness of like he said he saw me and it wasn't enough. And that's what I've unfortunately experienced in past relationships, where you say you see me, you say you see my value, you say you see that I could be a great mum, a great wife, but it's not enough. So it was triggering. It wasn't him. It was the situation was very triggering. That's what it was.
had he proposed to you, would you have said yes?
Oh yeah, I would. Yeah, yeah. Because at that point, we were so in alignment. You know, at that point, but unfortunately, like you guys don't see everything, so it's hard to maybe understand. But yeah, at that point, yeah,
Yeah.
I would have said yes. However, if we'd got like when I first saw him at the mixer, they didn't put it in there, but I did this. I said this would have never worked. That's literally, yeah. I said this would have never worked, but they didn't put. I wish they put that in there because people think I'm hung up on him. Like I'm not hung up on him. He's not my.
No, no. Anybody who think no, let's fast forward to the mixer, because I think people just really don't understand.
Why I went off. Yeah.
Nothing, no, no, well, nothing about your body language, nothing about when you saw him gave that you were still hung up on him at all. I
Okay.
think, as a matter of fact, watching you at the mixer, you looked fed up. And I was wondering if it was because of what we saw on social. So as you're filming, obviously this was filmed last year, but as you're filming this, there was a story that broke by Storytime with Ricky where she revealed that he had a baby on the way. So I was wondering, at what point did you find this out? Did you find this out when we found this out, or did you find it out before?
So I found this out with everybody else. Yeah, I found this out like this year. Yeah, with everybody else. But to then okay, so to fast rewind to the mixer. I think maybe this is 2 to 3 weeks after the pods now. And
Mm-hmm.
basically, we're all hanging out. Yeah, we're all friendly. We're all going to people's parties. We're all hanging out. We're all going to Soho House. We're all going drinks, doing dinner together. Everyone who's had a connection, they've all spoken. They've all either apologized,
Mm.
created a friendship. Yet Patrick is the only person still to this day who's not messaged me or called me to say I'm sorry for what I did, or I hope you're okay.
Mm.
Is that not peculiar? Is that not
Well,
peculiar?
that's
Yeah,
actually nasty, which explains your behavior or the way you reacted to him.
basically. And that's why I do say like you've not messaged me or anything. Like, but then you're busy doing best friends with everybody else. But then the person you've actually created a bond with, you've not even acknowledged, and that's my
True.
kind of that's where the kind of like disappointment comes from at the mixer. But and not even just that, he was doing a lot more, Jesse. He was like plotting chaos against me at the mixer. He was putting people against me. He was saying things that weren't
How
true.
so?
He was just doing a lot, and I didn't understand it, Jesse, because I was like, you said no. Why are you doing this? What? He's like, he's trying to take my name. Like, why are you doing this? I don't understand. Like, I just come on here to find a husband, and I'm looking for love, and I get hate. I just didn't
Yeah.
understand. I didn't fathom. And the thing is, like, you wouldn't like Yolanda was there. Was it Yolanda or Bada? Like, who was really seeing it? No one. I was alone basically because they only let us go in at certain times. So I was basically alone at
Hmm.
one point, and I didn't really have anyone there to kind of stick up for me or like have my back. And like this guy's just spewing out lies. He's saying things that are untrue, and then everybody's believing him. And I'm like, why are you guys believing
What was he
him?
saying?
Oh, I don't know if I can really say. But he was just saying
Oh.
really negative. He was saying really negative and unkind things about me. And then he was putting me up against me and Demila had made a friendship at this point. So he was saying that I was saying things about Demila to Katisha and that Katisha had said this to Demila and da 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 da. And then Demila was upset with me. So Demila was upset with me on camera. And then I was like, Demila, why are you upset with me on camera?
What?
We're friends. Like, we shouldn't be. And like, one thing we were like, we don't want to do black on black crime on camera. But then why was I getting the black on black crime on camera? So I was like, Lord Jesus. I was like, what is going on? And then, yeah, I was like, seriously, Jesse, it was like World War III against Anu. So that's so people don't see like that's what I was on. Like that's what was happening. And then the guy that I was also talking to was kind of moving weird as well. So there was just a lot going on emotionally. And then what else happened? And then yeah, so I finally speak to Patrick, and I'm really trying to have like an adult conversation. As you can see, I come like calmly at first, and then he's
And
just
your conversation with Patrick happens after all that.
I'm trying to think. It's all mixed. It's all mixed. So he
Okay.
said, and also as well, just to point out, he was saying while we were dating in the lounges, he was telling all the boys that I do not have a connection here. So while he's dating me, saying, affirming me, saying we're going to travel, we're going to do all this, he was telling all the boys, my wife is not here. I don't have a connection here. That's why the boys, especially Jav and D, were like, why are you guys even in the edit? Patrick told us you've not got a connection. Hun, that's what I'm saying.
Wow. So he was
Yeah. So
sabotaging your connections with other guys, basically. Like basically he was telling you one thing. He was telling you you're his connection, but he was telling the guys he had no connection, but also kind of sabotaging,
Jesse,
basically.
like it's really scary, and that's why I said like you took away this experience from me because I honestly wanted to meet someone, but he had a plan, and he had a goal, and I was just collateral damage. I was unfortunately the unlucky one that he picked, regardless of he was gonna pick someone to do this to. Unfortunately, it was me, and probably it's probably even best that it was me because I'm quite strong, but I was just collateral damage in his game in this ploy whatever he had. So that's what I'm saying. This whole things that have come out now about his personal life, it makes sense because what he was doing then
Mm.
last year, he's now doing now. He's trying to take my name. He's trying to manipulate. He's trying to manipulate people. He's trying to turn people against me. He did this last year. He's doing it again, and this is how this man operates. So, and now I know that he had a plan all along. And that plan did not include going past proposals. That plan did not include getting
No.
engaged to me, let alone anyone. The plan was to promote himself, promote his business, and that's what he's done. I don't know if it's worked to his benefit, but yeah.
So when we see you tell him you a liar, you finally sang for him. Did he say thank you?
You know what? I told him to sing for me. I said, "Come sing, let's sing." Because I was trying to talk to him. I was there. I said, "Come on, you're a liar." No, you know what I sang? I said, "Why you always lying? Why you always lying? Oh my gosh." That's what I was singing.
They couldn't they couldn't keep that. They couldn't keep that in the edit. They had to pay a check. They had to pay a
Yeah.
check for that.
Yeah.
Dang, we didn't get the goods.
I know. And he
We
was
didn't get the
laughing.
goods.
He was laughing. He was
So
laughing. I didn't, yeah.
so what do you think about people who saw the, you're a liar and you talking about how his headscarf was I thought it was funny. I'm sorry. That was cinema to me. But what do you say to people who think that you were not nice to him? What do you feel like they're missing?
Everything, as you can hear, they're missing
Mm-hmm.
how deep our connection was. They're missing how much we related to each other. I'm not sure if it was real or if he was reading me like a textbook Christian and knew the right things to say to me.
Mm.
But they're missing, yeah, they're missing how much he led me on. They're missing also the misinformation he was spreading about me at the mixer, these accusations he was making about me on and off camera. They're missing how he was bad mouthing me to the guys, to the girls. They're missing all of that context. So yeah, the
They're
thing is that
also missing the fact that they're also missing the fact that this man came into the experience with a baby on the way, knowing that. And
I know,
so,
yeah. But it's hard though, because how can you police someone's
mm,
honesty or dishonesty? And that's where like it's a hard one. It's a hard one, that one, because to some people he comes across very charming. He has many faces. To me, he was lovely in the
mm,
pods. And then all of a sudden he switched up on me, said, "No, that's fine, you're allowed to say no." But it was his behavior afterwards that was like, wow, you're evil.
mhm,
I don't even want to say evil,
yeah,
but what? It's like nasty.
yeah,
He was being nasty, vengeful. And I just didn't understand. I was like, all I did was come here for love. And I'm
yeah.
getting this person attacking me constantly at every turn. I just didn't understand. So
You
that's why I was
came,
on smoke.
you
Yeah.
came, yeah, you came for love, and all you got was a spleen.
A
Ain't
broken
that some
down one.
bullshit?
Yeah, one that needs to be
Right?
removed and replaced.
So, immediately, too, let's talk a little bit more about the Pod Squad because Javin comes in, and immediately I noticed the way he looked at you and the way he looked at Yolanda. And I was like, did y'all peep that? Was there
Yes.
anything that happened at the, did y'all peep that? Was there anything that happened at the Pod Squad meetup that the audience didn't see? Cause I saw the way he had googly eyes for you and Yolanda, and I said, wait a minute. Now wait a minute. Hold on. My man's got a type. My man's got a type.
Hmm.
Cause I didn't see him look at anybody else the way he looked at you and Yolanda.
Remember,
So
yeah.
did y'all have a little something going on at the Pod Squad link up that we didn't get to see?
You know what's mad, yeah? Because me and Javin, he's been the only consistent guy that I've spoken to consistently, and he's been solid throughout the whole year. With fame, with no fame, with clout, with no clout, we message constantly. We're constantly
Good.
speaking. So it's for me. I actually think it's a shame we didn't date more in the pods because we're very similar. He's very disciplined. He's very honest. What you see with him is what you get. So I think
Yep.
it's a shame that we didn't date more. However, I feel like I don't know. I don't even know how to phrase it because I don't want to kind of put him down or anything. But I just feel like Javen, yeah, he's just Javen. Like he's just Javen. Kind of like he shows you who he is. So, and the thing is,
Yeah.
yeah, everyone could see it but Katisha, you know. And I think maybe we weren't looking at the experiment like, oh, this is your fiance. We were looking at it as in, oh, we're dating until you get to that aisle because it's so quick.
Mm.
And it's crazy to kind of
Mm.
fathom that it's engagement after 10 days of dating and then now that's your fiance after 2 weeks. Like it's a bit hard to get your mind around. So we weren't looking at people like fiancés. We were looking at people as like, oh, they're dating and then if they like each other enough, then it
Mm.
will transition to making it down the aisle. But the thing is, yeah, we already knew Javin was kind of like very his eyes, googly eyes. You know, we kind of already knew that.
Mm,
And yeah, like I said, like unfortunately, I don't know, Katisha couldn't see that, but we all could see it. And I think we just, I don't know, when we all met each other at the mixer, you know how it is when you see someone who looks like you feel comfortable, you feel at home. We have the same banter.
yeah.
We believe in the same,
Yes.
we have the same characteristics. We laugh at the same things. Like you are
Yep.
just different. And I know people are saying, "Oh, I come across flirty online." I'm a very touchy feely person. If they saw me with Demila, if they saw me with other people, they would have seen it, like me touchy touchy. But with Javin, he's very jokey, very silly. I'm the same. That's just it. That's all it
Yeah.
is, really.
Yeah. Yeah. I could see the same thing. Like I have a very unpopular opinion when it comes to Javin. I feel that yeah, there were some things that did on the show that I, wasn't really a fan of. But I feel that what you see is what you got. I feel
Bro.
like even like his sister when she came on the camera, she said who he is. Like I feel like he presented himself very well. And I think that like you said, like I think sometimes there have been times even in my life where I've dated someone and I was dating them with very rose-colored glasses. I saw what I wanted to see instead of what they were showing me. And I think that that is the thing with Javin. Like I don't get why he gets so much flack because I'm just like, I get it. Like the photo booth moment, it was, why y'all in the photo? Were you there when the whole
Yeah,
photo
I was
booth
there.
moment
Yeah, I
happened?
was there. Yeah, I was there. And I love Megan. Megan's actually one of my close girls as well. The thing is, yeah, like
Mm-hmm.
I just said, like we were at this bar. The music was dead. It's not any of our vibe. It literally was like the black
Mm-hmm.
people in the corner. Like Yolanda was there. No, so I just come back from speaking to Megan. Yolanda was there. So Yolanda was there. Javon was there. Demila was there, Patrick was there. I didn't want anything to do with Patrick's or whatever. I was annoyed anyway because of the mixer. So I went to go sit right in between Yolanda and Javen. And me and Javen were just
Okay.
kicking it. We were just talking. And Javen actually asked me who was my top. I told him who it was. And we were just talking. And then he was like, "Oh, when it's done, let's talk afterwards. Like, let's just see like what going in it." But it was like, it's just we're just kicking it. We're just kind of being cool.
Yeah.
But obviously, I agree. He shouldn't have gone to the photo booth. He shouldn't have been in that close proximity with someone who's not his fiance. But at the end of the day, like I said,
Yeah.
it's hard to kind of compute that, oh, we date for 10 days now, this person's my fiance. For us pod squad, maybe for
Mm.
them who were living together, it's different. But it's hard to see them as all like fiancés and fiancés, especially she wasn't there. So it's hard to see
Mm.
him not single because he was by himself. But yeah, him and Sophie,
Yeah.
we all knew it was nothing anyway. We all knew that. So yeah.
Okay, so from where you sat, they were just arguing about what? Just
So basically, the thing is with Sophia, she likes a lot of attention, and that night that was her goal to just flirt with everyone. So whether it's Javin, whether
okay.
it's Patrick, whether it's Demila, she was doing it with everyone. So unfortunately,
Okay.
Javin kind of took the bait a little bit, and I think they were talking about like why did she leave the process? I think because they were dating quite heavily, so I think they were just talking about why she left,
Mm.
why did she leave? But Javin, you're engaged to someone else. Why do you care if she left? Like, just leave it. Yeah.
That's just my thing. It's like, okay, baby, we don't need to be arguing about this at all. So I just
Yeah.
didn't get that. So fast forward to the reunion. I just want to get some of your thoughts on the reunion. Were you shocked at Cal and Sarover?
So I'm good friends with her, and I knew when it happened. Um, you know what's mad, Jessie? I had a dream. Actually, I had a dream about Sarova. I think I went to Dubai. I think I had a dream before I went to Dubai, and I think it was January, like mid-January. And I had a dream about Sarova. I had a dream of Sarova's mum and Cal sitting at dinner, and he said something like, "We're not compatible." And I thought, why the hell am I dreaming about Sarova? Like me and Sarova weren't even close at this point. But I thought, why am I dreaming about her?
What?
Yeah, and I told my mum, I was like, Mum, why am I dreaming about her? I don't care. I wish. Oh, sorry about that. I was like, I don't care. I don't
It's
care
okay.
about. Yeah, sorry. I was like, I don't care about them. Like, why am I dreaming about this? And then I thought, oh, should I reach out? I don't want to reach out because I don't want to pry. And then anyway, then I'm in Dubai or whatever, and then she reacts to some of my pictures, and then yeah, she seems all right. I was like, oh, hon, you've actually been on my mind. But I think we booked dinner, and then she let us know during the dinner what had happened, and I was like, hon, I
Aw.
actually had a dream about this, and I'm so sorry. Like, I wish I reached out. when I had this dream, because it all happened during that time. So
Wow.
yeah, it's heartbreaking because she really put her all into this process. She really fell for him. She really was
Yep.
vulnerable, and I promise you, she's like got one of the purest hearts going. Her and Megan have one of the purest hearts. So it's a shame that this happened because she was really in love. She
Yeah.
was in love, and I think he was in love with
I
her too. To be honest.
I feel like he gives what you said in the beginning of our sit down when you said that when you're dating, everything's going good, and then 6, 7 dates in, it's like, all right, I'm not ready for this. Like, I think Cal basically gave what you described at the top of this interview. Um, were you shocked by Billy and Ashley?
You know what? Yeah, I'm not close with Ashley, but I think from
Okay.
what I saw from TV, from the edit, I just thought, Ashley, you're better than this, babe. Why you don't need to do
I
this.
see, me too. I was watching it. I'm like, I get it. But also the way this man kept complaining about her job, I was just like, okay, if someone has that deep of a problem with how I provide for myself, I don't see that changing. I
Yeah.
just don't see that changing. So I didn't understand what she was seeing. So I mean, yeah. So now you're out of the experience, and you had this experience. You had this Love Is Blind experience. How are you taking this experience into dating going forward? Like, were there any lessons that you feel that you're taking into dating going forward?
Don't trust men. No, no, I'm joking. Um,
Listen.
I'm joking. I'm joking. I think you know what. Yeah. I think I'm more intentional now.
Mm,
I've actually taken a break from dating actually, since the show
okay.
since the show kind of wrapped. I actually took a break from dating, because I think I need to really look in within myself, because as well the way I reacted to the mixer, like I think they asked me at the reunion, did I regret it? And before, when they spoke to me
Mm,
about it, saying did I regret it, before knowing actually this person's true character, I was like, yeah, I did.
right.
I don't. I just shouldn't have gone off like that. Like it's not who I am. But then actually, now looking back, or at the reunion, I said no, I don't regret it, because that's how I felt in the moment, and this guy needs to be held accountable for his actions.
Exactly.
So I feel like if anything, I'm learning to trust my intuition more. I'm learning to trust me more. I'm learning to, yeah, if I'm not feeling something with someone, don't force it. Like it's okay,
Mm,
like it's okay to be by yourself also. It's okay to be
yeah.
content in your singleness, because like you never know what could come, because you end up in something and the person's giving you trauma. So I just think, yeah, I want to be more intentional when I date, if I do date anytime soon. But right
Mm.
now I'm cool, I'm content.
I mean, I will say, just watching the show, I think that God was smiling down on you because I don't think you had any idea, what you would have really been walking into had you accepted the proposal and then said yes to the marriage. I mean, there's no telling what this man would have done, because he was obviously keeping that away from the experience, that he had a whole family on the way. And then I think, just side note, I think he was very much a coward to not show up to reunion, and so you're the only person who had to address the whole moment. And I'm gonna tell you right now, you did nothing wrong. I feel like as women, we need to look at other women and be like, if my sister is having that reaction, something happened. Something happened. And when you walked into the mixer, I remember seeing the women say that he blindsided you. Like, all the women were validating what you were saying. And so I think, just as viewers, we need to do a better job at giving people grace, period. But specifically black women. When you see a black woman having a moment like that, which honestly was not mean, you sang for goodness sake. But I think when you see a black woman having a moment like that, it's because her face was being played with.
Yeah.
And lo and behold and lo, the whole time your face was being played with. So I feel like you were absolutely right in your feelings, and Your reactions were mild to what my reactions would have been with. Let me ask you this. So going forward, like what's next? Going forward, like are we like what's going on? Are we releasing the album? Like what's happening? What's going
What's
on with the
next?
career? Do you want to do reality shows again? I would love to see you on Perfect Match. Just
Let's put it out there, innit? Let's put it out there. But the men need to
yes.
come correct. You know who, actually, I don't know. You know who followed me recently?
Who?
Clay. Clay. I know, and he's
Clay
handsome.
be following all the Love Is Blind
Well,
girlies.
I
Do
don't think
not
all,
fall for it.
I don't think all of us. No, I don't think all of us. But I found him very handsome. I found him very handsome. So I was happy with that for him.
Clay, sister, no.
It's you.
You know what? You know what? When Clay was on Love Is Blind, baby, I gave him hell. But I do think one thing I can appreciate about Clay is that Clay is also honest.
Okay.
Clay is also honest. I don't like how he goes about certain things, but he's also honest. Clay is not the type of person who would take you down to the altar and say yes, knowing that he would not fulfill that cow, Billy.
I know.
You know, so that's something I can appreciate about Clay. But I think that Clay has an allegiance to white women. So I don't know
Really?
what's going on. He love him a chaotic white women's. I think
Oh,
Clay needs to be cleansed from that man like to go snowboarding a little bit. And no disrespect, like if that's
yeah, yeah,
if you like that, that's what you like. But
yeah.
I do feel that I think Clay needs to get therapy, get himself together so that he can be a good man. I think he has the potential to be a good guy. He just needs to go get therapy, take the time out, figure out what he wants in a relationship. And yes, but sister, please don't fall for not right now. Let Clay get therapy. Don't fall for please. I could see it in your eyes. Don't fall for I don't please do
He's cute. He's got a lovely smile.
get Clay's IG disabled. Period. Period. But I mean, is there anybody else? Like, do you feel like there's anybody else, like in even on your season, who you wished that you could have dated, or maybe Love Is Blind other seasons that you wish, like, oh, if he was on my season, that would have been dope.
I'm trying to think. I think they're probably all married, so they were always the good guys. But I'm trying to. I think you know what? Actually, a British presenter did an interview with Freddie from season one, and he said, "Oh, who would you have liked if you was on the show?" And he did say Anu, and I did say my DMs are open, but he's not really been doing too much. But I said my
Freddie,
DMs are open. Yeah, yeah, but I said my DMs are open.
Freddie, Freddie, we
So
sending you the bat signal, boo. Freddie, we sending you the bat signal. That's another one who I feel like, dang, Freddie is underrated. Like, I feel like I didn't watch his season of Perfect Match, but I'm like, what is going on with Freddie? Like, I need the girlies to step up, because,
no, he's still
or maybe
single.
he the one who need to do the stepping up. Yeah, you need to do the stepping up, Freddie. What's going on? So
Yeah,
anyway,
I'm
so
not.
yeah, and what about the music? What about career wise? Like, what's next?
I'll be honest, Jesse. Music is hard. It's a hustle. It's a
It
hustle,
is.
and especially like
It
being like a
is.
black girl in UK, it's even harder. Because it's like I think what do black people make up 3% of the percentage in UK. So,
Mm.
unfortunately, to like record labels, it's like you don't even have a target market. But when I was pursuing music actively, I was actually going to Nigeria and Ghana, and I was pursuing it there. And that's when the doors were actually opening. And then
Okay.
when I was getting in the rooms with Sony, Universal, all of this, I don't know. I felt like, wow, I didn't want it anymore, Jesse. I don't know why. I didn't want it anymore. So I came back home,
Hmm.
and came back home to my family, and I just started praying and fasting and relying on God for what the next step is. So I've started another property business, and that is what's giving me fulfillment at the minute. Yeah.
Well, I'm going to touch and agree with you on that. I feel like you're very talented, and only God knows the surprises he has in store for you. I don't feel like he gave you that voice for nothing. And there's so many different avenues that you can use your vocal ability for. It's not just albums, there's animations, there's plays, there's so many different things that you can do. So I'm gonna touch and agree that God shows you
Amen.
what you can do and what's next. And I really hope God opens those doors for you. And I feel like,
Amen.
you just keep seeking him and he's gonna tell you. He's gonna tell you how you'll be able to use your talents. I definitely believe that for you.
I want to be like
In
you,
Jesus'
Jessie.
name.
Amen. I want to be like you. You
Listen,
amazing empire for yourself. Like, wow.
no, honestly, I feel like every day I'm trying to figure it out. Honestly, like don't get it twisted. Like every day I'm trying to figure it out. Like I think America versus the UK looks a certain way, especially when we're talking about black folks in the entertainment space. But there's so many changes happening right now, especially with this orange guy that we have in Obama's White House. The entertainment space has been gutted. Like so many folks. I've been working, for instance, at BET for years, and this year I did the pre-show for the BET Awards. Everybody I worked with got laid off. Everybody. Like everybody. So my man has a documentary on a network. The other day he was in a meeting and he found out that everybody in the unscripted department got laid off. Like it's layoffs after layoffs happening here. And so it's a constant thing of like trying to figure out what to do. And sometimes it can feel like a rat race, but I definitely like you, like my trust is in God, like in just leaning into, okay, God, like just show me what to do, child. Like show me what to do, Lord, because I don't know. I don't know. So I think just like you, I'm resilient. And I think that's what it's just going to take. Like God gave you resilience, like you said. That's why your mother's never worried for you. He gave you resilience. And I think that you just leaning on God, but also doing the work, you have many talents. And as you're doing the work, like God is just going to lead you.
Amen. Amen.
We have to trust that. We have to trust God for that. Like I have no other choice but to trust God for that. And that's how I move. That's how I move. So, oh my God, I'm really, really happy and I feel blessed and honored to have spoken to you. Anu, how do we support you? Where do we follow you? I'll make sure I put that all on the screen. How do we follow you? How do we support you? Let us know.
To be honest, I guess at the minute it's like God has provided without online at the minute. But if He provides with the online opportunities, they can follow me on Instagram, Aanu Music, AANU Music. Aanu Music on Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat, Aanu Sugar, AANUSUGAR. I'm just trying to think what else. That's the only things I'm active on, to be honest, hun. But
Okay.
I'm even on YouTube as well, actually. Aanu Music, AANU Music, and I've even got a music video out there that was 10 years old. But if people want to hear some neo soul,
Okay.
feel free to check that out. But like you
Okay.
said, Jessie, I don't know, like you said, God has blessed us with this gift, and maybe right now it's not activated, but in a few years' time, I don't know, maybe we might see me for gospel album. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see.
Hey. Hey. Hey, our God is an awesome
Hey.
God. What is that gospel song I heard at Davido's wedding? It was a Nigerian choir singing it. I can't remember. What was the song?
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, sometimes I listen to like I'm a piano gospel music. I'm like,
Oh,
yes, I love it. I love it. So listen, there's so many avenues. So I'm gonna be supporting you. My sisters are gonna be supporting you, and I'm excited to see what's next for you. I would love for Netflix to put you on the next season of Perfect Match.
I know.
I don't know
I
who we
just,
need to
I just
call.
know.
Netflix people, please. You know what? Put Anu and Clay on the next the next season of Love Is Blind, Perfect Match, please. Let's see what the universe does, child. But
If I
until
can
next
lose
time,
type,
Anu,
if I can lose type though, I'm not. It's okay. I don't want to compete. It's all right. Please, I want someone who likes me. Sorry, please.
oh, no, no, no. My sister don't compete, okay? She completes. She don't compete. Hey. All right, y'all. Well, thank you so much for being tuned into another episode of Just a Couple Things. Anu, I want to thank you for joining us. Y'all, make sure to subscribe on every streaming platform that streams podcasts. Make sure that you're following me here on YouTube. And I'll see you next time. Take care of yourselves and each other. Anu, thank you so much.
Thank
Take care
you.
of
Bye.
yourself.
Take care of
And we'll
yourself.
see y'all next time. Thank you.